This is a great opportunity to look into the Senate hearings.
Can you imagine if you're the type of person that wants to buy your neighbor's house and your neighbor isn't selling, and one day you see that there's a fire and your neighbor's house is on fire, and your wife goes like, hey, shouldn't you go out and help put out the fire? And you're like,
this is a great opportunity to reimagine, to reshape the deal that I wanted to give to the neighbor to buy his house. Great opportunity.
I wonder why Klaus Schwab is not a very popular individual. Hello, Mantat, and hello, Zenith. Hopefully the sound is right. I don't know why people complain about the sound, to be honest, because I looked at it yesterday and I watched the live stream again. The sound is a little bit lower than usual, but it's nothing that turning up the speakers can't fix, so... Yes, Christopher, I know. Your wife is weak. She lacks the fortitude. Okay, so let's see how the sound is like, and let me know if I need to raise the volume or not.
Member who is here, Senator Wicker, as well as our...
All right, how is it compared to my voice? Like, should I raise the volume or lower the volume of the video? Not to mention, it is a little bit weird, isn't it? I mean, the chick goes on 60 minutes, and just a couple of hours later, she's doing the Senate hearing. Doesn't it take time in order to do the Senate hearings and whatnot? All right. Sorry, David. I watched the live stream. It's your phone to blame. I can hear myself just fine. Many other people could hear myself just fine. Okay. The sound is all right.
Maria Cantwell, Senator Cantwell, I'm sure will be here shortly. Most important, I'd like to thank our witness, Francis Haugen, for being here, and
we're going to skip a little bit because it's 3 hours long.
And they've continued their tactics even after they knew the destruction it caused. It isn't just that they made money from these practices.
So already they established that Facebook is causing destruction, which is quite interesting because like 20 years ago, you could make the exact same argument about phone companies. Like, phone companies are causing destruction. Look, these bank robbers, before robbing the bank, they used the phone lines to communicate with each other. You can make this argument for literally anything. The postal office is causing destruction. Like, all of these organized criminals, Don Corleone was using post in order to communicate with other people. We should read people's mails. We should listen to people's phone calls. I mean, this is the line of argument that they're doing. And now they're trying to use a private company in order to launder censorship from the government to the private company. I mean, nothing that they said here is illegal. Like, if everything that was talked on Facebook would have been done via the phone, they would have had no problem with it. In fact, they wouldn't be able to have any problem with it because the phone is a utility.
But they continued to profit from them. Their profit was more important than the pain that they caused.
What pain did they cause exactly? Notice how they're not complaining about the riots during the last summer, which destroyed businesses, destroyed livelihoods. Like, none of that matters. None of that is important because they can't milk any political power out of it.
Last Thursday.
And again, it's like the pain that they cause. So if you're at a restaurant, and in your restaurant, let's say you have a couple of bikers, and the bikers go in there and they talk about various dealings and various shady stuff, is the restaurant owner that's to blame? Of course not. It's the bikers. You know, the restaurant owner just has the venue. Like, the way they're doing is like, okay, so the restaurant owner now needs to have a microphone on every table just to make sure there's no shady dealings going on. Like, what is this nonsense? Did you see the NBC News? Satanic ritual forced cannibalism, the kidnappings and extortion of Central American migrants? No, I haven't seen it.
The message from Ms. Antigone Davis, Facebook's global head of safety, was simple.
Look at this nonsense, like Facebook global head of safety. As if Facebook can make people safe. How is Facebook making Kabul more safe now that the Taliban are there? What is this bullshit that I'm living in? Like Facebook's head of safety. They're a company that allows people to post shit on the internet. What safety are you talking about? It's not Facebook. And by the way, like this is some other really bizarre cyberpunk shit where it's private companies that should ensure safety. No, like the safety should be assured by the government. That's why you pay taxes. You pay taxes to have police. You pay taxes to have detectives that can figure out who did the crime and how to catch him. You have the court system. What is this nonsense like Facebook can do safety? It's not their mandate to do safety. Their mandate is to allow people to post on the internet. That's it.
Quote, this research is not a bombshell, end quote. And she repeated the line, not a bombshell.
Yeah, well, it's not a bombshell. I mean, a company is trying to make money. Le gasp.
Well, this research is the very definition of a bombshell. Facebook and big tech are facing a big tobacco moment, a moment of reckoning. The parallel is striking. I sued big tobacco.
Look at this shit. Like, Facebook is censoring like a motherfucker. Like, never before has Facebook censored as much as they censored lately. And it's still not enough. Like, they need to censor more. And of course, they need to censor left-leaning shit. Like, imagine if they were to say, you know what? No more politics on the website. Just no more politics. You know, if you have a video of a police shooting, we don't care. We don't want it. If they did that, the left would freak out about free speech. I guarantee to you that they would do that. If CNN would be banned on Facebook along with Fox News, they would be crying out bloody murder. So I'm popping in the sound. Oh my god, this is really annoying because like. Or for Facebook, so I don't have the resources to get the best equipment. I changed my microphone 2 months ago and apparently it's still not good enough. But as you can see, like this is the sound, it's at max, so if there's popping, I have no clue what to do about it. Hopefully it will stop popping. All right, let's go back to the thing.
As Connecticut's Attorney General, I helped to lead the states in that legal action, and I remember very, very well the moment in the course of our litigation when we learned of those files that showed not only that big tobacco knew that its product caused cancer, but...
How can you compare tobacco causing cancer to Facebook? Like, it's so bizarre. I mean, and even with the tobacco thing, there are so many people that are upset about the tobacco regulations. I'm willing to bet in my country there's more people that are upset with the government taxing tobacco and the government like banning people from smoking. Like in the UK, if you're not aware, you can't even smoke in your own car alone. It's not a popular take. I'm curious if you were to actually ask people, like make a poll, a survey, like how many people are okay with the government cracking on tobacco, you're probably going to see that a lot of people are really pissed off.
That they had done the research, they concealed the files, and...
Someone said Facebook is worse. Yeah, I guess like Facebook is worse because it censors. But I wouldn't say Facebook as a company is bad. At the end of the day, it's the people posting there that are responsible. I mean, if you're going to arrange a bank robbery over the phone, it's not the phone company that's responsible, it's you. Do you think what these politicians would do when confronted by a person who would bring up a point like you do? My guess is they end at individual. No, like people like me who are posting a counter narrative would never be allowed. Like, we're not part of the conversation. I guarantee to you there's millions of people, if not tens of millions of people, that feel like I do. But you're never going to get them on the mainstream media and have a fair shake.
Now we knew, and the world knew. And big tech now faces that big tobacco jaw-dropping moment of truth. It is documented proof that Facebook knows its products can be addictive and toxic to children. And it's not—
I mean, the only point that he does have is that Facebook product is addictive. I mean, they have a team of psychologists in order to make it addictive. But the idea that, oh, well, it's harmful to children, is like, get the fuck out. Children should have parents. The internet is harmful to children. You shouldn't allow a kid on the internet unsupervised anyway. It used to be the same with television. Like, you weren't supposed to let your kid watch TV without any supervision. It's not healthy for a child. So yeah, it's like, oh, well, Facebook. Yeah, of course. I mean, there can be a child molester on the other end of the line, and he could try to groom your kid into it. Yeah, you shouldn't let your kid on the internet unsupervised, period. There's no ifs or buts. But I don't think it's Facebook's problem. I don't think it's Facebook that can change anything to protect children. I think that's a parent's responsibility.
not just that they made money, again. It's that they valued their profit more than the pain that they cause to children and their families.
There's no example of a child that is in pain because of Facebook. Now, I'll tell you something interesting. If you really want to talk about this, there's actually another whistleblower that doesn't get on 60 Minutes. Imagine my shock, because they don't want to ruin Facebook. They want to control Facebook. But there's another really interesting interview on YouTube. And it talks about a person who worked as a censor at Facebook. And apparently the video that they have seen. So he describes like two videos that really fucked him up. One, well, first of all, like you have all the videos with beheadings and stonings and all of the nastiness that you can expect. You know, these are coming from the Middle East, where you have a person that has been accused of committing a slight, and it's just horrible shit, right? But there's a level beyond that, apparently. Like, for example, seeing a kid that's still alive with people that are harvesting organs from him. And the kid is screaming, right? So the moderators from Facebook have to see that shit. And then apparently there's like private groups where people send all sorts of disgusting material. Like, for example, a father using a pig to have sex with a daughter and then killing the pig while it's... like the most disgusting shit that humanity can come up with, right? And there's this interview on YouTube with the guy from the Facebook moderator team, and he explains that, like, Facebook is not going to take down those videos because it could create a scandal, like it could create bad optics, you know? Like, that is something that, yeah, sure, you know, like, everyone would agree. I don't think there's a single person on earth that's going to say, yeah, that content should stay up because it's illegal, right? But here's the thing. I'm not interested in those people being banned from the internet. I want those people imprisoned. Like, anyone who makes that type of content should not see the light of the day again. Like, the full wrath of the law should fall upon them. Now, I get it that they might be from a different nation. Like, let's say it happens in China or something. Well, probably not China because they banned Facebook. Like, it could be from a different nation where the US doesn't have authority there. But still, you know, like, that is a conversation that can happen. I'm pretty sure, like, everyone agrees that is beyond fucked up. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. There's videos of China where they fry a dog alive. Yeah, so the moderator actually talks about it. Apparently, it's during the Chinese festival where they eat dogs and cats. And Facebook actually said that those videos have to stay up because it's part of the Chinese culture. It's like similar to how we eat cow. Like, they eat dogs, so those videos have to stay up. So there's a lot of animal abuse that's coming from Asia during these festivals, because apparently, like, see, I don't like the comparison, like eating cow or eating chicken with eating dogs, because the difference is that while we do eat cows, we have a lot of rules and regulations to make the slaughtering as painless as possible. But when it comes to Asia, from what I understand, the meat of the dog isn't good unless it is tenderized. And in order to tenderize it, they usually beat the animal while it's alive. I mean, that is disgusting, right? So it's animal cruelty. It's not just the fact that they're eating, because at the end of the day, I'm not really that bothered. I know it's controversial, but I'm not bothered that some other people eat dog. It's like, okay, I wouldn't eat it, but if they want to, fine, whatever the fuck. I like cats more anyway. But what I'm saying is, like, you're not supposed to, like, glorify these images where the animals are beaten savagely before they're being consumed. Like, that is fucked up. Exactly. It's like Brutal Butt Slap says we don't kill animals. Sorry, Zenith says we don't kill animals like that. And at the end of the day, Facebook is an American company, and they should at least try to abide by some American values. Cats and dogs are pets. Well, you can have a rabbit as a pet, but then you can also eat a rabbit, so. V, you like eating cats? Oh, I see what you did there. Har, har, har.
The damage to self-interest and self-worth inflicted by Facebook today.
None of this is proven, by the way.
Generation.
Like, none of this is scientifically proven. It's like, trust the science until they start spewing bullshit.
Feelings of inadequacy and insecurity, rejection, and self-hatred will impact this generation for years to come. Our children.
Look, here's what's interesting. If Facebook is really that evil, why wouldn't you ban it then? Right? Because that's the thing. It's like, oh, it's so bad. It ruins the health of children. Why don't you ban it? Like, if you have a machine that's broken, you wouldn't risk allowing it to exist. You would just, shut it off. You turn it off. Now, here's what's interesting. Some countries did turn it off. I think, what was it, that African country? I think it was Nigeria. I might be mistaken, but didn't Nigeria ban Twitter? And the American government immediately freaked out. It's like, oh, well, free speech and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hold on a little bit. Like, you guys say that, oh, well, the elections, the holy elections, we can't influence, misinformation. Okay, misinformation comes from social media. Shut it down. And now they're freaking out.
Children are the ones who are victims. Teens today.
Yeah, Uganda, not
looking
Nigeria.
at
Sorry,
themselves
my
in
bad.
the mirror, feel doubt and insecurity. Mark Zuckerberg ought to be looking at himself in the mirror today. And yet, rather than taking responsibility.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg ought to look himself in the mirror today and ask, why am I paying this guy's salary? Why am I paying so much taxes to a guy that just spews lies about me? Why do I do that? Maybe I should move to China.
And showing leadership, Mr. Zuckerberg is going sailing. His new modus operandi, no apologies, no admission, no action.
He's got literally nothing to apologize for. By the way, notice when the social media started banning and censoring, which apparently is now the American way, no one called him up on a Senate hearing because of it. Well, actually, they did under the Trump administration. My bad. Yeah. But this guy didn't. He wasn't upset about it.
Nothing to see here. Mark Zuckerberg, you need to come before this committee. You need to explain.
You can subpoena him. You can literally call him if you want. I mean, it's possible.
To Frances Haugen, to us, to the world, and to the parents of America.
The parents of America should have let their kids unsupervised on the internet, period.
What you were doing and why you did it. Instagram's business model is pretty straightforward. More eyeballs, more dollars. Everything Facebook does is to add more users and keep them on their apps for long.
Oh my God, it's like they're a private company trying to make money. Oh, they want users to stay there. Oh, what's next? Is he going to discover how marketing works? And it's like, oh, look, all these chocolate bars, they have pretty labels and they have pretty packages. Like the only business model is to make sure people buy them. But look at the horror it does to kids. It makes kids fat, gets a lot of health issues. Look at the cavities that these chocolate bars do. Think of the children. Why do these companies put profit? You can do this argument with literally anything. Anything you can make this argument with.
Longer. In order to hook us, Instagram uses our private information to precisely target us with content and recommendations, assessing that what will provoke a reaction will keep us scrolling.
I'm fucking like, this is a bad I don't get it. So I guess see, my problem is that the algorithm is supposed to do that, but it doesn't. But anyway, it's, I guess, so the algorithm is showing you stuff that you want to see. This is grave concern for everyone. This is against the good of the public safety. What the fuck?
Far too often, these recommendations encourage our most destructive and dangerous behaviors. As we showed on Thursday, we created a fake account, my office and I did, as a teen interested in extreme dieting and eating disorders. Instagram latched onto that teenager's.
So isn't the problem with the teenager that's interested in that shit? Yes, it's like going to a library and asking for those types of books. Like, if you ask, you get. What do you want? Do you want Facebook to be mommy and daddy and be like, no, you're not allowed this because this is harmful for you. So now you want a private corporation that's unaccountable, it is for profit, to decide what people should and shouldn't see. Like, who gets to decide what is an extreme diet and what isn't? Fuck me, it's like, there is nothing outside of Facebook. It's like you don't have any friends, you don't have any parents, you don't have any teachers, you got absolutely nothing. And if a person is interested in losing weight, they're just going to go and they're going to find extreme diets, and Facebook is responsible. I mean, you know, it's like saying that before Facebook, extreme diets weren't a thing. Yes, they're bad, of course. Yeah, don't do it. But like, do you really need a corporation to tell you that? Don't you have parents? Don't you have friends?
Initially,
yeah, they really want Facebook to be mommy and government to be daddy, don't they? Like mommy and daddy, the perfect fascistic marriage.
Securities that then push more content and recommendations, glorifying eating disorders.
Glorifying eating disorders. So if you have a person that has an eating disorder and is looking for that on the internet, you want the internet to censor, like not allow people to have the information to make it look like there's some conspiracy to hidden the forbidden knowledge, the heretical text from the kid. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, before Facebook, you could go into a library and you could get whatever book you wanted. There was no censorship. Like, the arguments are blowing my brain up. I don't get it.
That's how Instagram's algorithms can push teens into darker and darker places. Facebook's own researchers.
I am willing to bet that if you look at children's happiness and children's health, I don't think it's ever been higher than it is today in human history. I got this feeling. Okay, but for some reason, he does these unsubstantiated claims that, oh yes, like Facebook pushes kids in darker and darker shit. Do you know what television did to children before social media? Oh my god.
Called it.
Yeah, like, when I think about Instagram, I don't think about their motto being eating disorders are badass. Like, this is ridiculous.
Instagram's, quote, perfect storm.
You could not get porn books as a kid? What the fuck are you talking about? I was actually selling CDs when I was a teenager. Because I was the only one that had internet on my block. You couldn't get it. You didn't have me as a friend. That's why you couldn't get it.
Exacerbating downward spirals. Facebook, as you have put it, Ms. Haugen, so powerfully maximizes profits and ignores pain.
This is a push for stakeholder capitalism, 100%.
Facebook's failure to acknowledge and to act makes it morally bankrupt.
Oh my God, this guy
Again and
loses
again,
charisma. I
Facebook
can see why he got
rejected
elected.
reforms recommended by its
How
own
does a politician like this get elected? There's literally no soul in his speech. Like I genuinely don't feel that he cares about these issues. Am I the only one? Am I the only one who is looking at this guy and is not feeling anything? Like he's talking about some serious shit, kids being led to dark places, blah blah blah, and he's not outraged by it. It's like just reading from a prompter. I seen people reading the news. Don Lemon has more charisma and more emotion than this guy.
churches. Last week, Ms. Davis said, quote, "We're looking at," end quote. No specific plans, no commitments, only vague platitudes. These documents that you have revealed provided this company with a blueprint for reform. It provided specific recommendations.
You know, it's kind of funny because like most people didn't even agree that Facebook should censors, but okay.
That could have made Facebook.
Yeah, zero
and
passion,
Instagram
exactly. It's like
safer. The company repeatedly ignored those recommendations from its own researchers that would have made Facebook and Instagram safer.
Instagram and Facebook are at a danger. You can literally shut them off.
Facebook researchers have suggested changing their recommendations to stop promoting accounts known to encourage dangerous body.
So instead of being a search engine where people can actually search for what they want it to be a pitch engine so you can search what Facebook wants you to see. This was like the most unpopular decision with YouTube, for example, when they changed their search engine. But okay, fine, whatever.
Comparison. Instead of making meaningful changes, Facebook simply pays lip service, and if they won't act, and if big tech won't act, Congress has to intervene.
Oh, all of a sudden it's not a private company that can do whatever it wants. Okay, I see. Like up until now, the government couldn't do anything. Like it couldn't touch the company because, well, it's a private company. And now, well, apparently the government can. I don't think it might, because if you look at SCOTUS, it actually said that Facebook has free speech and they can do whatever they want. So it's going to be interesting moving forward. The only way they can move forward is if they scare Facebook's advertisers, and then Zuckerberg just takes a decision and is like, you know, we're going to do what you want. You don't have to make a law. Like we're going to do it anyway. Like that's the only way they're going to make headway in this.
Privacy protection is long overdue. Senator Markey and I have introduced the KIDS Act, which would ban addictive tactics that Facebook uses to exploit children. Parents deserve better tools.
Parents should fucking parent. How about that? You know, also an interesting take with the Democrats. Like recently, the FBI has to treat concerned parents as potential domestic terrorists, right? Because they shouted at a couple of school boards, right? So the schools are allowed to push stuff onto kids that the parents disagree with. Like that's not where the parents matter. But when it comes to Facebook, oh, they're all of a sudden very concerned about the parents. Get the fuck out.
Protect their children. I'm also a firm supporter of reforming Section 230. We should consider narrowing this sweeping immunity when platforms' algorithms amplify illegal conduct.
Yeah, so apparently, I know ANCAPs that were like, oh well, you can't touch Section 230. You need to leave it alone. You can't do anything about big tech. And I said, look, if you're not doing anything now, like when the left manages to get in power, they're going to do it. And it's like, oh well, no, we're going to complain. Then I don't see many complaining coming from the ANCAPs now. Just saying, you know, just pointing it out. But yeah, so they want to modify Section 230 to include like hate speech laws and various censorship. So basically, like if you're a smaller company, if you're not Facebook, let's say you're BitChute or some offshoot, you're going to have to censor. And the interesting thing is, like most of these companies cannot, because they don't have the AI, they don't have the bots, they don't have the means that Facebook has. So it's literally just going to destroy competition of big tech. Like big tech wants 230 to be changed.
In your testimony, and perhaps you'll expand on it. We have also heard compelling recommendations about requiring disclosures of research and independent reviews of these platforms' algorithms, and I plan to pursue these ideas. The Securities and Exchange Commission should investigate.
I mean, to be honest, I do think that the algorithms should be made public. It's like if you buy a can of, I don't know, a can of tuna, you can read what's in the can. Like, there needs to be a label on the box. So, yeah, I do think that these companies should have transparent search algorithms. Like, when you look at what's trending, it should be what's trending, not what Facebook wants it to be trending, if you know what I mean. So people shouldn't think like just because it's on the top of the page, it's necessarily popular. So this is like the only point that I agree with, like the search engines and the algorithms. Yeah, like those should be transparent.
Your contentions and claims, Ms. Haugen, and so should the Federal Trade Commission. Facebook appears to have misled the public and investors, and if that's correct, it ought to face real penalties as a result of that misleading and deceptive misrepresentation.
Okay, let's listen to someone else. We got a concerned lady here.
Our team to make certain that we had this hearing and this opportunity today so that we can get more insights into what Facebook is actually doing as they invade the privacy, not only of adults, but of children. And
my God, you know, I guess this is American politics at its finest. We literally don't think of the children in Romania. I've never seen politicians like try to push something and it's like it's for the children. You know very well it's not for the children. They don't give a single flying fuck about the kids. But it's like a really good gateway. It's like, okay, if we can frame it as if we care about children, then people are more likely to be okay with what we're saying.
And look at the ways that they are in violation of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which is federal law, and looking at how they are evading that law and working around it. And as the chairman said, privacy and online privacy, passing a federal privacy standard has been long in the works. I filed my...
I mean, I kind of get the privacy aspect because it's not really cool, you know, Facebook selling your private data and shit, like compiling the data and whatever for advertisers to give you that. But again, like, people willingly donate their privacy on Facebook. People willingly put pictures with themselves. People willingly give their address. How do you think the business model works? Like, what other business model would you like if someone literally just gives their address willingly? And then, like, no, here's something else that's interesting, right? Now they're complaining that, okay, people put their privacy online. Then, if you have an anonymous website like 4chan, they're complaining that the users are anonymous. Which one do you fucking want? I guess, well, they want the government to have all access to all the data and all the privacy. And, yes, like, companies should harvest the privacy, not read it themselves, and just pass it over to the government.
First privacy bill when I was in the House back in 2012, and I think that it will be this Congress and this subcommittee that is going to lead the way to online privacy, data security, Section 230 reforms.
I do not believe for a single second that these people want anonymity on the internet. Like, I would be Pikachu face if they're pushing for that. If they want the internet to be back like how it was on the IRC times, where everything is private and you don't know who the other person is and there's no information guy, that's not what they want. I am willing to bet all of my fortune that that's not what they're going to have.
And, of course, Senator Klobuchar always wants to talk about antitrust. And I have to give a nod. Senator Markey is down there. When we were in the House, we were probably two of the only ones who were talking about the need to have a federal privacy standard. Now is that...
But if they had their way, it would probably be like China. Like, you'd have to scan your face Like you'd have like a facial recognition, put your thumb onto the phone in order to get access to your account. And log in with your social security number. If they were to have their way, that's probably how they would do it.
The chairman mentioned.
Anyway, Ryan, let's
week,
skip to what she has to say. Let's go to someone else.
Kids online. The recent revelations about Facebook's mental health effects on children and its plan to target young.
Why not ban children from using Facebook? I mean, you ban children from buying alcohol, right? You ban kids from watching porn. And again, like, I can tell you why it's 100% bullshit. There are kids that can watch OnlyFans, that they can watch Pornhub, they can watch all these other websites that are far more dangerous to them. You know, you can have kids going on 4chan. They don't care about it. Why? Because it's not about that. They don't give a shit. It's not about the health of the kids. It's about how can we control Facebook. Like, we, the government, can't censor people. We, the government, can't ban people from speaking to each other. But what we can do is take advantage of a corporation that we helped to become a monopoly. And now, if we get that corporation to work for our political party, we're going to have political gain. That's literally what it is.
Younger audiences are indeed disturbing. And I think you're going to see a lot of bipartisan concern about this today and in future hearings. They show how urgent it is for Congress to act against powerful tech companies on behalf of children and the broader public. And I say powerful tech companies, they are possessive of immense power.
It's so weird. I mean, you get the right-wingers in power, and they're the ones that do these hearings against censorship. And then you have the left-wing in power, and they do these hearings wanting more censorship. Actually, I think it's more like they want to be in control of the censorship. So, I'm curious if the left is going to get the shit done. I'm really curious because the right had 4 years and they didn't do a single thing. Not a single thing. I'm curious what happens when the left is in charge.
Their product is addictive, and people on both sides of this dais.
Yeah, so is anime, so is I don't know, reading books, so is candy, so is Pepsi. Just because something is addictive doesn't necessarily mean the government needs to intervene.
Are concerned about this. I talked to an opinion maker just down the hall a few moments.
What the fuck is an opinion maker? Chat, what is an opinion maker? What the fuck? Hold on, an opinion maker. What is an opinion? Like, I need another person to make an opinion? Why can't I make my opinion? What the fuck is an opinion maker? Can we ban opinion makers? Opinion maker. That is the cringiest shit. How do you become an opinion maker?
Before this hearing, this person said the tech gods have been demystified now. And I think this hearing today, Mr. Chair,
I've been demystifying them for 5 years now. I don't know. It's like, I guess that's what an opinion maker does. Says things that people already know. Like,
is a part of the process of demystifying big tech.
Oh my God, big tech is in it for the money. We demystified them. Who would have no? Who could have guessed Facebook is a company about making cash? Oh my God, we demystified them. Oh, congratulations, opinion maker. Wow, we couldn't have done it without you. So good that you're here, and now we have an opinion. Fuck me. These are the senators, right? Like, these are the America's top brass.
The children of America are hooked on their product. It is often destructive.
Ban it. Ban it for the kids, if that's the problem. Ban kids from using Facebook. There you go. Problem solved. Well, next, go after video games.
And harmful, and there is a cynical knowledge on behalf of the leadership of these big tech companies that is true.
Oh my God.
Ms. Hogan.
Wait until they find out that cartoon makers also want kids to watch their shit. Ban smartphones for kids while you're at it. Wait until they find out about OnlyFans and Twitch.
Hogan, I hope you...
If it saves just one kid. Oh, David, that is so good. If it saves just one kid, that's how they should have started this with.
will have a chance to talk about your work experience at Facebook and perhaps compare it to other social media companies. I also look forward to hearing.
Okay, so this lady, okay, she's got like the whistleblower, or the whistleblower as some people call her on the internet. She's already having a Kickstarter, a donate fund. Let me see if I have it. In the meantime, let me also look at the chat to see if I got some super chats. Okay, got one from Mentat. Trump did nothing in the last 2 years when the Republicans controlled the House. Yeah, I talked about that. I'm really curious to see if the left is going to do something. Support Frances Haugen. Facebook's whistleblower. Jesus fucking Christ. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. So, okay. She works at Facebook. She then says what the government wants to hear. Because there's a lot, like, I already said, right? Like, there was this other whistleblower. And he was a moderator at Facebook, working for a third-party company. And apparently he talks about how he had to look at videos with children having their organs removed while the children are crying. And another very disturbing, absolutely just mind-fuckingly bad, violent sexual stuff. And how Facebook isn't doing anything. Why isn't that on 60 Minutes? Like, that would have been even more interesting. You'd get more ratings. Well, the reason is that they don't, like news like that would just destroy Facebook. Like, people would actually start being concerned about their kids going on Facebook. It would definitely influence it. And they don't want to destroy Facebook. What they want is they want to control Facebook. They want to launder their governmental censorship onto Facebook. That's what they want to do. Look at her, admiring her cottage. What on earth? Like, look, if you're on CNN, you're not courageous. I'm just saying that. Thank you for speaking truth to power. How are you speaking truth to power? You're on CNN, you're on 60 Minutes, you're in the Senate. How is that truth to power? What is the power? Oh, God. They're making it sound like Facebook is the mafia. Remember when James Damore spoke out? Like, why wasn't he on 60 Minutes? But yeah, so she's got $32,000, and it's going to probably go way more than this. But I'm just saying, you know, like a little bit of a conflict of interests, in my opinion. But okay.
Our people. Congressional action is needed. They won't solve this crisis without your help. Yesterday we saw...
So she's already saying that it's a crisis. Like, I don't even know if people agree that it's a crisis, but okay.
Facebook get taken off the internet. I don't know why it went down, but I know that for more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides, destabilize democracies, and make young girls and women feel bad about their bodies.
Again, like, Facebook is not the publisher, all right? Like, I mean, technically they are, but not in the sense that you think, right? Like, Facebook allows people to talk. People talking doesn't destabilize democracy, you crazy lady. And if that's the case, okay, if it's so bad, why not shut it down? Shut it down.
It also means that millions of small businesses weren't able to reach potential customers, and countless photos of new babies weren't joyously celebrated by...
Oh my God! Oh, the cringe! Oh! The countless countless photos of new babies weren't able to reach. Oh, what a blow to humanity. How will humanity recover?
Family and friends around the world. I believe.
Yeah, it's like there's no way of sending pictures to someone else unless you have Facebook, right? You can't send it by post. You can't send it by mail. You can't send it by phone. There is absolutely no way, like, people can send pictures of their babies to their friends and families around the world if it's not for Facebook, is it?
In the potential of Facebook. We can have social media we enjoy that connects us without tearing our apart our democracy, putting our children in danger.
Our democracy, our children. Stop speaking for our. Who is this we? I do not consent. You're literally raping me.
And sowing ethnic violence around the world.
Yes, Facebook is suing ethnic violence around the world. The media isn't doing that. CNN is healing the divide, is it? Like, when I think about CNN, it's about bringing people together, not tearing people apart.
Can do better. I have worked as a product manager at large tech companies since 2006, including Google, Pinterest, Yelp, and Facebook.
See, this is why I'm laughing at these companies for hiring these leftists. Every leftist is a walking lawsuit. Every single one. Like, look, the moment they're not happy, they're going to go out and cause a massive PR shitstorm. Why did the corporations hire these people? They deserve them. You know what? They deserve these people.
My job has largely focused on algorithmic products like Google Plus Search and recommendation systems like the one that powers the Facebook newsfeed. Having worked on 4 different types of social networks, I understand how complex and nuanced these problems are. However, the choices being made inside of Facebook are disastrous for our children, for our public safety, for our privacy, and for our democracy. And that is why we must demand Facebook make changes.
Put it to a vote. Put it to a vote. I'm curious how many Americans would vote to change Facebook. Like, how many Americans would say, you know what? I can't be trusted using a keyboard. I need censorship. I need some TOS in my life.
During my time at Facebook, first working as the lead product manager
Yeah, it looks like economic espionage, pretty much.
for civic misinformation, and later on counter-espionage, I saw Facebook repeatedly encounter conflicts between its own profits and our safety. Facebook consistently resolved these conflicts in favor of...
Where on earth does it say that the company is supposed to keep you safe? How? And by the way, when they talk about safety, right? They don't talk about an angry mob of people that want to get X, Y, and Z fired for saying a racist joke or whatever. Okay? Like, no, that's perfectly fine. They love that shit. If you have people organizing in order to do the Chick-fil-A, that they're happy about it. Well, when they talk about safety, is like any harsh words or criticism towards the left. That's danger.
Of its own profits. The result has been more division, more harm, more lies, more threats, and more combat. In some cases...
See? That's the harm. Threats. Threats on the fucking internet. So if someone, like, if I'm playing Xbox, and there's another guy over there and goes like, I'm going to fuck your mom, I should be worried that my mom is in danger, yeah? Like, that is what they're basically saying. Words on the internet are real. Everything they see on the internet, they believe. No wonder they think it's so harmful. I just...
cases, this dangerous online talk has led to actual violence that harms and even kills people.
So does the telephone, so does the mail. You're not going to say that the telephone company should start regulating that. You know what else leads to harm? Cars. I mean, look at the bank robbery. You know, without a car, they can't do the getaway. Maybe you should now have the car manufacturers to install a microphone in every person's car so that you can hear what they're saying. And if they say something that's a violation of TOS, the car should stop running. You now have the technology to actually do that, right? Well, why shouldn't you at this point? Yeah, car manufacturers are responsible for all the violence that's happening. And I'm not talking about car crashes. I'm talking about like little criminals that use their cars in order to do criminal activity. Gang members and so on. Human smugglers. I mean, look, this guy smuggled people and he used the Volvo. Volvo is responsible. I mean, this is the line of argument that they're using. Every time I say like the inevitable conclusion to what they're saying, people are like, stop giving them ideas. I don't know if I'm giving them ideas or not, but I'm just saying like exactly where their argument leads to. Like I'll give you an example to see how ridiculous it is. Yeah, vote yay on this bill unless you want people to die. Literally, that's honestly, it is the authoritarian guidebook. This stream brought to you by Volvo. Man, I wish Volvo would sponsor me. I wouldn't need super chats if Volvo would sponsor me. I would turn it off.
This is not simply a matter of certain social media users being angry or unstable, or about one side being radicalized against the other. It is about Facebook choosing to grow at all costs, becoming an almost $1 trillion company by buying its profits with our safety.
Why does she keep saying our? And what if I don't want to be safe? Like, did you consider that? What if I want to live dangerous? What if I want to do extreme sports? What if I want to live life? I don't want to be safe. Stop making me safe. I want to live in danger. I want to be in the danger zone. I want to go outside and not know what's going to happen. Want to have adrenaline. I want to live life. Let me live life. Why do you want me to be safe? I'm sick and tired of safety. I want to be like a burning flame of passion. I want to burn hard and short, but hard. That's how I want to be. Too much safety. Everything is safe. I don't want safety. Fuck off with your safety. Going to break into the safety dance. Safety dance. No, seriously, it's like that picture with the lion in a cage and the lion that's free, and it's like, which one do you want to be? And it's surprisingly, because on Reddit, all the socialists want to be the lion in the cage. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. I mean, like, no, here's the thing, and I keep using this argument because it actually makes left-leaning people think. Like, do you think safety is important? Then a lot of leftists will say, yes, it's very important. It's like, okay, a maximum security prison is safety. There is no place safer than in a maximum security prison. You get well fed. You get a doctor that's going to make sure you're healthy. You're kept safe, like nothing can happen to you because you're in isolation. You just are not free, right? But you're safe. Unbelievable. I can't understand this line of thinking. Like, when did harmlessness become a virtue? I don't think, like, at any time in human history, because I like reading history, did people worry so fucking much about safety? Those who promise safety in return for your freedom deserve neither. Never deliver safety. Yeah, pretty much. Volvo is owned by China? Oh, I didn't know. You don't think prisons are very safe? I'm not talking about the general population, man. I'm talking about the solitary. Like, if you're in a prison in solitary, there is absolutely nothing that can happen to you. Unless you're Epstein. But with that, like, Epstein aside, if you're in a prison solitary, there's nothing that can happen to you. Unless you're, what's his name? The one with the antivirus. God, I forgot the name. What was his name? The one with the antivirus. Also died in prison. Recently, actually. McCafe. Yeah, unless you're McCafe. Like, if you're McAfee, okay. So if you're McAfee or Epstein, then yeah, prisons are dangerous. But other than that, no, they're safe. You can trip. Yeah, that's why I recommended prisons that have padded walls. Like, even if you trip, you don't hurt yourself.
During my time at Facebook, I came to realize a devastating truth. Almost no one outside of Facebook knows what happens inside of Facebook.
I mean, there's been several whistleblowers by now, but yeah, like they didn't get mainstream coverage, so people don't know, I guess.
The company intentionally hides vital information from the public, from the US government, and from governments around the world. The documents
Maybe because it's a private company and it has the right to maintain secrets? I don't know.
I have provided to Congress prove that Facebook has repeatedly misled the public about what its own research reveals about the safety of children, the efficacy of its artificial intelligence systems, and its role in spreading divisive and extreme messages.
This is a message about controlling Facebook. Don't you think it's divisive? And you're doing it in the Senate. Don't you think the Senate is divisive? What's wrong with divisive? Like, again, like, divisive is the side of a healthy democracy, because you have, like, different people with different opinions. When is divisive a problem? Only in fascism you don't have divisiveness. Like, everyone agrees, and the people that don't agree are now an enemy of the people. And then you have unity and healing. Oh no, it's divisive. Oh.
Came forward because I believe that every human being deserves the dignity of the truth.
Yeah, too bad they don't deserve free speech, free thinking, human rights. Yeah, I mean, fuck that shit.
The severity of this crisis demands that we break out of our previous regulatory frames. Facebook wants to trick you into thinking that privacy protections or changes to Section 230 alone will be sufficient. While important, these will not get to the core of the issue.
I know, there's always more work to be done. I mean, even if you get everything you want, it's not enough, right?
Which is that no one truly understands the destructive choices made by Facebook except Facebook.
I'm fucking yes, like, people don't understand that if you spend a lot of time on social media, it's bad for you. Yeah, I've never heard that argument made, ever. I wonder why my neighbors don't allow their kids on social media. I just don't know why. Like, how did they know? My God, they must be Einsteins. Like, how did they know without this whistleblower?
We can afford nothing less than full transparency. As long as Facebook is operating in the shadows, hiding its research from public scrutiny, it is unaccountable. Until the incentives change, Facebook will not change. Left alone, Facebook will continue to make choices that go against the common good.
What is the common good? Jesus, she sounds like she's in a cult. Is the common good? Is the common good? What? Who establishes the common good? Deserves the truth, whereas Obama's government transparency, no one talks about that anymore. Do you know what's something interesting, right? So, you guys know about the drone strike, which the Biden administration did. Apparently murdered a bunch of minority children, but, you know, for some reason that's not racismus. Wasn't the police that did it, so it's fine, I guess. Fuck me. But anyway, right, so no one gets punished for that. Like, not a single person gets to resign, not a single person gets to be fired. But the person that leaked that, the whistleblower that talked about it, is looking at 9 years in prison. Let's talk about fairness and accountability. How is that not a crisis? Why isn't the Senate discussing that? Who put her up to this? I mean, this is so orchestrated. It's very difficult not to notice. So, out of nowhere she appears. All of a sudden she's on 60 Minutes. Now she's in the Senate. Everyone is having, like, all these speeches ready and good to go. And you're telling me that this is just grassroots. This is just, like, absolutely normal. It's not... At least the right-wingers, I'm pretty sure they also orchestrated their hearings on censorship. But at least, like, they would then wait for an event. Like, they would wait for someone to get censored or something to happen. Like, this is just so PR-like. It's almost like there's a corporation behind it that is doing these things. Yes, I know, like, people are saying whistleblower, more like whistle-glower. Haha, I see what you did there. Do you think the wokeness will one day use religious freedoms to protect themselves? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Like, some people point out the White House stage thing. Like, the White House movie set is the weirdest shit ever. And I'll tell you why the White House movie set is so freaking weird. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. So, let me see if I can find it. Don't tell me you can't find it on Google. Apparently, you can't find it on Google. Interesting. Okay. It's okay. I got it on Twitter. Give me a second. So I really can't wrap my mind around this. Like, this is the most bizarre thing that I have ever seen in my life. So, okay, people point out, it's like, all right, there's a White House movie set. And it's like, I don't get why there is a White House movie set. Like, why can't they just make a normal set? Why does it have to be with the White House in the background? Why can't you just have a podium with an American flag where the president gets to speak from? Like, why does he have to speak from the house? It makes no sense. But okay, so they make a set. You know, it kind of makes sense in a way, because, like, you can probably get, like, more reporters in there, I suppose. You can have a lot more freedom. Like, if it gets messy, you don't have to clean it right after, so the president can go back to work. Fine, like, have a movie set. Okay. But why do you have fact checkers claiming that it's being debunked? And it's not true. Like, why the fuck do you have this? This is what I don't get. Like, so you have the set, and then you have the fact checker saying, no, it's real. And then you have the set revealed. Like, what? Yeah, I mean, there is benefit to it. And I just explained to you a couple of benefits. Like, number one, you can get more reporters in. It's probably a lot easier to gain, like, it's more secure, because the reporters just go into the set. They don't have access to the whole house. And it's a lot easier to clean, right? Because obviously, like, people in a room, it can be messy. So you then just have the president leaving, and he's going into his office, and he can go back to work without having to wait for the cleaning lady. Like, there are reasons for it. There are benefits for it. What I don't get is, like, why the theater? Why just... Well, why couldn't you just say, yeah, it's a movie set. It's like, yeah, we do it there because reasons. The Intercept did a piece in 2014 that explains it. Well, okay, was I close to the explanation? Because I just, like, thought about a couple of potential reasons. Transparency is the garlic of the left. Oh my god, I'm going to use that. Yeah, like, here's another thing. Like, it can be closer to the president's house, or maybe, you know, you can have it in a different state. But again, like, why even fake it? Like, I don't know, just have an American flag in the background. And have a podium, and that's it. Like, I mean, this is how the people do it in other countries, right? Like, when you see, let's see, Boris Johnson. So when you have Boris Johnson speaking, just have like a podium. Well, he's like, but you have a podium or some shit or a British flag, and he's sitting there at a table or at a podium or something. Like, you don't need a set. You can literally just do it anywhere you want. You can even do it next to a door. Biden has a double. Well, at this point, let me ask you a different question. If he did, how would you know? Like, how would you know if he did? That's the question. And if he did, so what? Would I be surprised at this point? No. Okay, so apparently there's news about the whistleblower, which is going to Pikachu face you, okay? Facebook whistleblower being coached by Obama alumni donates to left-wing causes. Oh no, really? Oh, so she's not just a person concerned about children that's, apolitical. Oh, who would have known? Oh my God. She's being coached by an Obama alumni, is working with the political consultant and former Obama administration deputy press secretary, and his consulting firm. Oh, so when I said it sounds like a PR stunt, it's because it is a PR stunt. Oh, I see. She's been leaking documents to the Wall Street Journal for 10 months. Now she is appearing before the Senate. After a major television appearance, 48 hours after said TV appearance was leaked to the press. Again, very bizarre, right? Like, it didn't even, like, normally you would think it would take a week or two before the hearing so that, people can get their speeches in order, so that people can figure out what they want to ask her and want to. No, 48 hours. It's almost like this was ready to go. Ready to go. The political millennial has gone through her political donations. AOC's political campaign, Courage to Change PAC, one of AOC's crews, Act Blue, my favorite person, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, the organizer that the campaign on behalf of the Democrat senators, Haugen is currently testifying in front on. Oh, who would have known? Oh my God. Had this been a conservative, there would never be a 60 minutes interview. No, I think it would. Like, if she would have said exactly what she has said, it would have been on 60 minutes, 100%. The Wall Street Journal articles would all be marked as fake news. Democrats have been vocal about their hatred for Facebook for allowing misinformation. That's a lefty way of saying any right-wing opinion they disagree with. Joe Biden accused Facebook of killing people. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Based on a radical left-wing book report. His White House supports deplatforming. Now there is a partisan left-wing Facebook insider testifying before the Senate, telling the Democrats everything they want to hear. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's like literally everything that the Democrats have been saying just surprisingly happens to be true. Now, I don't know. Again, to me, this looks like a PR stunt. And not to mention, like, even if it's true, like, most of the public isn't concerned by it, like, put it up to a vote, make a census, and see how many people are actually concerned about Facebook misinformation. It was arranged beforehand. If she were right-wing, it would not have been organized like this behind the scenes. I mean, yeah, when the right-wingers had like a person from inside Facebook or one of the big techs, you wouldn't get like everything that the right-wings wanted to hear. And it felt like, even if it was organized, I don't think it was, but like even if it was, it felt more real and more genuine. Because when a politician says, I think rah rah rah, usually when they get a whistleblower that's an actual whistleblower, is not going to confirm 100% of what the politician was saying. Blasey Ford II. Why do people keep picking on her jaw? I get it, okay? It's a very impressive jaw. Like, I wish I had a jaw like that. Not gonna lie. But it's not. It's not like what game came up where, oh yeah, it's not He-Man and the Saviors of the Universe jaw level. $32,000. My fucking god. So where is this money going to? Whistleblower 8. Notice how the guy who blew the whistle on the US military is getting what, like 8 years, 9 years in prison? No donations for him, I guess. She looks a little bit like Alloy. Oh my god. I don't think she looks like Alloy. Let me see. Not really. So this is from Horizon Zero Dawn 1, and this is how they made her in the second. Well, look, she managed to save the world and made it a better place, so now she's a lot more well off. Like now she's a little bit there's a lot more wellness. Let's put it like this. Jesus fucking Christ. Look what they did to her. And meanwhile, this is coming from China. Alright, like this is China's version of Alloy. Oh dear. Even Fortnite made her look good. Imagine Fortnite making Alloy actually look decent. So this is the Alloy from the actual game, right? And this is the Alloy from Fortnite? Holy shit. Look at it. This is the Alloy from the game. Yes, like this is an actual version of her from the game. And she looks like she's got lupus. Like she's got the butterfly thing going on her face. This is the side of lupus. And this is how they made it in Fortnite. I mean, just so you can understand, the cosplaying. The cosplaying looks better. This is how the cosplay looks like. There's people cosplaying her, and it looks like something that I would pay money to see in a game. Why would I pay money to see this? Whistleblower looks like Oblivion North Face. Oh god, now I can't unsee it. Yeah, let me see if I can show you how lupus looks like. So we call this the butterfly. You get the red spots that look like butterfly wings on your face, right? And it depends on the condition. Like some people have it more pronounced than others. But now that I'm looking at her, look. Huh? Am I wrong? Am I misdiagnosing? Am I doing malpractice? Look here. She's got lupus, baby. She should see a doctor. V, check DMs. The whistleblower is already a Twitter blue check mark. Get the fuck out. Of course she is. Why wouldn't she? Because now she needs to tweet once every week. Yeah, we need to blah blah blah. We need to do. Facebook blah 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 blah. Oh my fucking god. Oh. Don't you think they could have chosen a more charitable picture? Okay, you know what? Go away. Go away, kids. Go away. I'm going to make a video on my secondary channel right now. So let me know how you guys think about the stream. I'll see you in the comment section, and I'll be talking